That's the new one.
Yes.
That's the brand new.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. For those of us joining us, we're all right. So we're recording now, but we can just chop this up, so we don't have to do this because we can start with news. So
we can put this wherever we damn well please.
But yeah,
the magic of editing.
You see, yeah. Do you see what I'm talking about, though? Why does it start so late? And
so which ones? You know the one called Roller Coaster, right?
No, this is terrible. What are we? How are we?
I know, right?
What do you mean?
So when you get to the top of that hill, and you have there's the cool one that you do on the left,
yeah,
the new one,
okay,
and then you go a little further and it splits, right?
Yeah.
And you've got Roller Coaster is the one on the right.
I thought it was Choose Me or Don't Choose Me. That's what the Tins of Trail Force. Whose name? What naming takes precedence when we're referring to these things? You know, like when we're on Strava.
Well, that's the thing about Trail Force is like that's not the locals naming those.
and then the segment's called King DH. Then you said it was
I've heard it called Roller Coaster. Is what I've always heard it called.
All right, we need some standardization.
And then the one on the left,
it's typical of the bike industry to do shit like
was called by our local Rock Hard Racing. Was called This Hill Was Bob's idea. For a particular race.
Bob, why did you start some of the stuff where you did? What is with this?
Why did you do this?
I'm proposing new segments. I don't care. I don't care the etiquette behind it. I like mine. We're gonna do it now or at some point soon.
Make official Lift Talk segments.
I did do LT1, LT2. Okay, they start before the split. So you can basically hit it at speed.
This is the one that kind of comes down into the causeway.
Yeah. I don't like how the end curves back up and it meets back to the point. You have to climb it too. No. I just want a straight segment of down, starting from this point.
You're in Massasoit.
Yeah, but don't call it a downhill if you have to go up at the end for like another.
Where does it call it downhill? It calls it Pine Grove.
The other one, they're basically the same trail. One's like they all have a number of drops that go down. You know what I mean?
Say what?
Anyway. What episode is this? This is 6. Oh, dear Lord,
we
they
going
go fast.
Insta Live?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do you need a power cable? Do you need let's do my phone, hold on.
Yeah. You've got it all logged in.
I need my power brick somewhere.
I do not have it all logged in.
There it is. It's hiding.
Is that Baby Yoda or is that just normal Yoda?
That is, I think, normal Yoda. Although boo this man. All right. Endurance Threads liked my something. Look at that. I'm actually wearing 3 items of Endurance Threads clothing today.
Sock, and underwear?
Sock, and underwear, yeah.
There's Endurance Threads underwear?
No. They should make that, though. You hear me? Wool.
You can wear their bib shorts.
To bed. Oh. All right, let me see this thing. Did we just stand it up like this last time?
Yeah. Oh, Shannon Porges. Aren't you at work? What the hell?
Yeah, how do we get a wide angle? This is going to get annoying.
Wide angle, yeah, Instagram. Not conducive to that kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah, not conducive to much these days, are they? All right.
What's up? Get back to work.
Oh, now you can actually see the chat.
And I can type. I can be like, yo, get back to work, Shannon.
Yo, back to work. I can't say that.
Well, you can.
Oh.
You can say that.
Thanks.
That's fine.
Okay.
Eli's
in.
Eli should also be back at work.
Wait, so if you're logged in on... can I log in also from the laptop? How are you viewing this? Do you have an app?
I had to install the app.
Oh, Windows apps.
So you have to do like a Windows app.
I'm not doing it. I refuse.
I think there's another way to do it, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Spark is here to see that Eli and Shannon are not at work.
Busted. Oh, man. All right, so start out with Strava's going on bike court. Still what happened today. That's kind of annoying.
Yeah, now we're kind of both angry about it.
Yeah, now you got me going.
Let's actually, we'll back up a second.
Yeah.
We'll back up a second.
We're going to rewind, like that Zach Morris segment. Freeze. Go back.
So
we're going to start with
a little bit of news.
Some news.
A little bit of news.
Some news.
Really?
Really? Okay, do you hear what he just said? Do you hear what he just said, why don't you, for once in your life, just do the f***ing news? All right, no, I'm going to do the f***ing news. No, here is the f***ing news.
Okay.
Cut that out. Note to self. Mark.
Mr. Spark
Cut
brought this
out.
to my attention the other day. There's some news about Kingdom Trails.
How did he find out? Who does he know? Who do you know?
I don't know.
Who do you know? Tell us.
Apparently he reads Outside Magazine on a regular basis.
He's a connoisseur, I see.
He's a connoisseur of the outdoors.
Pays for magazine subscriptions in 2020. Bold move.
Wow.
Crazy. But anyway.
So, apparently, this is. We'll try to link this article because it's decently long. It's got
Post
some,
it up.
It's got some
screenshots
details in there.
or something, right?
It has. They basically, the writer of this article found one of the neighbors of one of the landowners that has restricted their trail access in Kingdom Trails.
They basically bribed him with a 20 spot of maple syrup to be yeah, spill the beans. I mean,
That's pretty cheap up there.
yeah, I would guess, right? Yeah.
They
It's
just
nothing up there
walk
actually
outside
too.
and
It's like a
tap their
tiny
own
little
tree.
teaspoon, yeah. So somebody got some insider info, huh?
Yes. This is supposedly one of the landowners says, quote, the owners who have locked out bikers have had a lot of problems with bikers while riding their horses. They are beyond frustrated at the lack of common courtesy. They are extended on their own land.
Yikes.
Yes.
Yikes.
So
Wild
yeah,
horses.
that would be awkward if you were out riding and swearing at some horse owner, and then the horse owner was like, "Hey, I actually own this land."
So, I think we said that last time. That someone did that. Someone
Yes.
was like,
Yeah.
F your equestrian fun.
Yes.
Your equine
Yeah.
animals
Yeah.
go to hell.
Yeah, disrespect is one thing, but disrespecting the person that is in control is not advisable.
I am the manager. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
God. And it was some Enduro bro giving us all Enduro bros a bad name.
It could have been an XC guy. Some of those XC guys
That's a good point, too. Going for them KOMs.
could be.
So there's an article, but KTA hasn't said anything in any capacity officially.
No, they have not. I don't think they've done any follow-ups officially. I believe that this trail access restriction has already come into effect. I think.
Okay. Well, that was quick.
And I think, let me see.
You gonna get shot with a salt gun if you go there or what?
I don't know.
Put up some Nest cameras if I was them. Honestly, I guess fuzzy on the other side, I'd definitely have something like that.
I heard mention.
But I mean, are there wardens out there now patrolling? Bike cops?
Not yet.
I'm kind of sick, right?
But they have put trails closed beyond this point signs up
Oh,
on some of these trails. Again, this is coming from the article here.
we're gonna have rogue. We're gonna have rogues.
And there are tire tracks in the snow
Yeah.
through those trails already.
This is now going to be guerrilla trails.
Guerrilla
There's going to be we're going to Tap and Die 2 a.m. tonight. Lights off until you get there. You know what I mean? Bike chicken until you get there. Say nothing, be quiet, climb in pain and suffering yourself, and then ride it and get it the hell out. It's going to have
You got to get the segment somehow.
oh god, there's going to be special ops for trails now.
Special ops.
126 actual. Target is in the main house. You have execute authority.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
Yeah.
You just make the black market for riding that much worse.
Yep. I mean, it happens everywhere. There are places that we shouldn't be riding that we do.
People's horses going to start to get kidnapped. I'm telling you, man. Watch. People get crazy.
Horse's head in someone's bed. Oh, God.
Godfather style.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, please don't do that.
God.
We probably should cut that whole part out, maybe. We don't give anybody fucking ideas.
It's already live.
Oh, whoops.
We can't
It
control
exists.
that.
It
It's
exists.
already up there.
Yikes. Rats.
Someone's recommending silent free hubs, which is a good idea.
Oh, for United.
For just general stealth things.
Bike Team 6?
Actually, for bike packing type stuff and
Yeah, wildlife.
exploring new trails. That's one of the things about those internal free hubs is they're so quiet.
What if some of the loud ones qualify as technically noise pollution? Because it literally sounds like it's multiple decibels. So right, some of them are loud.
I don't think anyone would arrest you for that.
You're right. You find the right cop.
But
write
it
you a
is
ticket.
handy for if you're in an area where you may or may not be trespassing.
Is that a thing?
No, officially.
Officially. It sounds
Officially,
like
no.
both of us have some experience with something about. See, that's a whole other topic we should probably get into for another day, too.
Yeah.
Uh,
But it comes up a lot with bike packing.
Yeah. Just get behind someone's house really quick and get out.
Yep.
Don't mind me, just biking by silently.
Yep. I used to do that in my neighborhood. I must have freaked out some kids.
Yeah, like look at this GD Ninja rolling by on his bike. You know what I mean? Dear Lord. So somebody who mentioned Silent Free Ups has some experience. All right. Bike Team 6, SEAL Team Bike, whatever you want to do.
SEAL Team Bike.
So yeah, that's
But anyway,
annoying. Yeah,
so-
frustrating.
Like, yeah, it's just a general respect thing that's caused the issue. And as far as I can tell, it isn't really going to create, like, I don't think it's going to get better.
That's the thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, we can undo this," and I'm like, "Yeah, I think
it
you
doesn't
already
look
kind of
that way.
ruined it for
Yeah.
yourselves." You know, this is like putting trash on Everest.
And it's, I think we chatted about it last time. The big thing that's missing is the education part on like how to use the trails. So that's hopefully we get there eventually.
you don't sound
Start
too
educating some
hopeful right
people.
there. Big sigh.
Yeah.
Should make our own bike rides on the moon. Go to Mars with Elon, untouched.
But similar to that trail etiquette, trail respect thing.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
This is something we got going when speaking of
This
etiquette
is,
and biking etiquette
another-
with riders.
Another episode of Bike Court.
We just right into bike court. Dun
Gavel.
dun dun. Holy crap!
That was pretty
louder
loud.
than I thought. Yeah, that's a lot louder than I thought.
Yeah?
I'm keeping that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the Richter scale on the audio meter just went off.
So today, again, in some sort of relation to this Kingdom Trails trail etiquette kind of stuff, we are bringing. I don't know if we're not quite bringing Strava.
Maybe the idea of segments.
Yes,
Segments themselves.
competitive segments.
They're on bike court now.
and creators of segments are on Bike Court.
They're on
in the
trial.
stand.
Put them on trial.
All rise.
Yeah,
et
get
cetera,
up.
et cetera.
They're here in court. Don't worry.
Bailiff, bring in the cuffs.
I mean, we have names. It literally says who made them. I mean, you know.
Oh, we can.
You can
we
literally
can
call
get
people
calling
out,
out
yeah.
here. Let's see. Which one do you not like here?
Okay.
This is.
Do we can actually name these on here? I mean.
Oh, sure.
Screw it. All right. So.
all right. So this, for reference, these are some segments that Ed doesn't like because he doesn't think they're the right length.
First of all, there's like
Whoa.
3 different names for these things. Okay, like 3 different sets
Yes,
of names.
so
okay?
that's
What?
another
what?
item.
Why? I don't understand why we can't just pick one. You know?
Yes.
Oh, because this person says it's this name, or Trailforce says like, where are they getting this from? You know?
Yeah. It's a weird thing with like, it's almost like an etymology of a trail name.
Yeah.
Where like there'll
That's
be
good.
like a local crew, like pre-Strava crew, that's like, this trail is called this. One of the
good
ones that I use as an example is actually in Nickerson State Park in Brewster,
Yeah.
because that's where I kind of grew up riding. There was a trail that used to be called Twigs and Berries.
Interesting name.
Okay.
I get the name.
At some point along the way, I don't know if it was Strava or right before Strava became a thing, that trail started to become known as Potatoes.
Yeah. What? Who said that? No.
I thought potatoes made more sense.
Oh, so you're the
it
one that
was
would come
like
along
the
and change it
rocks
and
were
be
like
like,
potato-shaped.
I guess you're in. Yeah.
Right?
Right. But
But it does lead to confusion. And part of that might be, like, trails do change.
yeah, this one doesn't. It doesn't look like it's changed.
No.
It's
No.
pretty main.
Because, like, that one, like, I wouldn't have called that trail that's called Potatoes. I wouldn't have called it Twigs and Berries because I never saw many twigs and berries down that trail.
Also, and
There
what
might have been.
was it? A long trail? What's
It wasn't too
What's
long.
the
It was pretty
requirement
short.
for a segment? So there's the other segment up the Bearhold Road area where it's an up and down, like it shoots you out over the road, but it's not even on here. Can we make that? Who did that?
It goes across a road.
It's been written. It looks like it hasn't been finished. It goes across it's literally a road gap jump that kind of shoots you into 2 trees to die if you don't like.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
so I don't think that was the point of it, but I mean, it is technically a segment. That's
So,
like
so who gets to name these trails?
That's what I'm saying. I'm just going to go on
Right.
here and do it, right?
Because, for instance, if I go out and build a trail, right? I actually went out with.
Someone's calling me right now on
getting
Google
a call
Voice.
from- who are you? Google Voice?
Yeah, I don't think that's still a
What
thing.
is that?
That's still a thing. I'll explain. It's a useless thing that Google had a while ago. That I think
Google
it was
Hangouts?
genius. Exactly. So anyway, who gets to Who gets to do this?
So for instance, like I was involved in back in high school, my little cycling club. We went out and did like a trail build day with the local NEMBA guys.
Okay.
And we did this trail build.
So you put the work
And
in.
it was essentially like it was a trail that used to be there that we were re-clearing. And
You rehabbed
building
the trail?
out. Exactly,
Oh,
yeah.
Released it back in the wild.
Yes.
Excellent. So nice. So nice.
Give it a little pet.
Yeah.
Give it some water.
Get some Dawn. Clean up some
Dawn
oil.
dish soap.
Oh. All the trash on the side. So you've earned the right.
So we kind of. I've never actually ridden the trail.
Are you serious?
No.
That you're
I've
on
tried.
bike court now for that. You rehab the trail,
Well,
made
we
a trail.
can do
you
that
can
one
ride
next
it.
time.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that. Riley, bike court.
But like the school that we were with was Sturgis, so we were like, and Sturgis was a pretty prominent guy in the area way back in the day. So we were like, this should be called the Sturgis Trail.
Gotcha.
I don't actually know what they called it, but I don't think they called it that.
It wasn't Newton update. It probably wasn't that.
I don't
Sturgis
think so.
Trail. That sounds way too like. It needs to be like
Proper.
10, 20 miles.
Sounds
You
too
know.
proper.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good name. Too proper. Yeah.
So anyway,
Sturgis's twigs and berries
is
might be a
it
different
like?
one. You know?
Because let's face it, most of these trails, say in Massasoit that we're talking about,
Yeah.
were probably built by either Native Americans
Potentially
or deer.
game trails.
Exactly.
I've almost hit deer out there, by the way.
Yes.
That's actually why I give a GoPro
Yes.
now.
So
I'll make a, so you know what? The roundabout way, I'm just going to start making my own segments then. You don't have to ride it.
So because
It's going to show up there, right?
Because no one. So wait, because no one can decide who can name the trail. Everyone should be able to name the trail.
Why
something
not?
Different.
Let's, I mean,
Okay.
if somebody else is doing it, right?
I guess that's cool to kind of let democracy decide.
Ride my segment and let people speak.
For instance, we were talking about. Apparently, there's a trail in here. The segment is called King DH.
I guess
I have never called it that or known that exists
It
until
says,
like
"Choose
Liam
me."
and Ed were like riding these trails and being like,
I can't credit all.
It's the
This
segment.
is all not me. This is Liam basically being like, "Hey, I found this. Check
Yeah.
this out." So it's all
So
him.
I've always, when I was riding with the crew that I was riding with there, the first few months, they were all calling this one roller coaster. So that's what I call it.
Oh, God,
At least
see?
I think it's the same trail because I'm looking at the map and I
Looks like it.
can't
right?
quite tell. Maybe it is.
All right. So,
But there's another problem, right? Is like now we're talking about what might be the same trail with 5 different names.
is it? Who knows? Find out next year. And it's also like this one starts like a football field, like further in than when I want to start of it. Like who just come on, you know? Like I don't want to do it right, and it has a climb at the end. It's just BS, man.
Because you want it to be a downhill segment.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Who says we can't? Who says it can't do that?
Well, you can make
If somebody can make a
segment
their own
that's
segment
just like
with
a
a
touch shorter.
baby bitch, like a baby section of ups, like yeah, it's great for them. But let's make it a touch so shorter. It starts before the split, so you get the speed kind of going into it, right?
Is there not a segment there already? Because I have found this was another thing that happened at
Oh, God, see, I didn't
Nickerson
even-
State Park quite a bit. Is there was a segment
Multiples.
called Flax. It was around this like really nasty, rocky like trail around a pond.
Okay.
And on most rides, you would do that trail and then peel off to the right at the end.
Okay.
But someone wanted the KOM on that segment. I'm not naming names on this one. So they made a new segment that was that plus a little bit extra to the left instead of the right.
See,
so they were pretty much the only one riding that
I'm
for a time anyway.
if I'm bringing it up, I guess I'm not trying to be the only one, and I'm not trying to scam on it because I just want a truer segment. You know what I mean? Like more in the spirit of this, if that makes sense. Like downhill, you know, if it's going to be a downhill section, make it a downhill. Don't be like you have to climb.
But where does it say it's
up to the up.
Oh, the King DH one is the one that you're.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't, I'm going to make it one. You know, that's
But
my
if
opinion.
most of it's DH, doesn't that kind of count?
kind of not enough almost.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So who created this King DH? Who are you bringing to court here?
I'm just bringing Strava to court because I'm annoyed.
Yeah, but we need to.
We need
let's
names.
see. How do I
need to name
find out who
names.
made this? We're calling people out here.
Segment Explorer, right?
Yeah, I think that's the only way to do it.
All right, so if I go to my profile, I can load my own segments. Why is Strava Web different from...
Strava not web.
Oh, my God, right?
What if I
This
go
is just
to?
me. This is just me. I don't think
We
so.
need to call this person out. I don't know who they are.
Meet me out there and let's ride.
Liam McMahon is the KOM, so call him out for being good.
Machete DA.
What a loser.
Yeah. Also, this is kind of he goes the up part 22. Like that's what he did. I'm like more. He had to go up too.
What a loser.
All right, no.
How I can't find who
Machete
created
DH is the one that's called swoosh on Trail Forks. It's like that swoop.
Okay, yeah. So there's another question is, like, Trail Forks is calling them different things.
Oh god, we're doing this now again. And then King DH, and then there's another one called Back Up the Poop Chute. That segment's hilarious, but King DH is a more true.
It is okay. So
you see how that
this
stops
is
at the
interesting.
end.
This
and
is
it
interesting.
Begins at the right damn
Yep.
point. Yeah, that's like it should. What you think it should, not halfway down this freaking trail and then past the end. You get what I'm saying?
So apparently, Strava has defined this as a downhill segment that is not eligible for segment goals.
Wait, really?
Yes.
What does it even mean?
It means that they've looked at the elevation and determined that it's a downhill.
So you can't do segment
And
goals?
you can't like use their like weird goals feature on it, which kind of makes sense.
They don't want you to get good at downhills?
No. Well, I think their goals.
Is it just an XC company? What is this?
Yes, I think their goals segment.
Can only be something safe and not, well, you're going to die? So they don't want elevation?
I think it's more based on like heart rate and like cadence metrics and that kind of thing.
Well, because you're not pedaling.
Their goals thing, because they're playing a lot more data into like.
Strava, you should have a goals specifically for gravity-assisted
Well,
trails.
Garmin's now have their like flow metric that they're measuring.
Somebody has that. I just follow on Strava, and they also count jumps too, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of
Counts your
jelly.
jumps
I kind of want that.
with mixed reliability.
Hey, if Garmin wants somebody
'Cause
to
I have
test out
been
a
riding
bike
on the
computer, let me
road.
know.
With 2 wheels on the ground, and it all of a sudden said I was jumping,
Oh, so it's
which I appreciate.
Not amazing,
I
then.
appreciate that they.
you need a 60-foot jump. Nice job, you know. So yeah, what is with that? I'm just gonna start trying to take all of them and losing. I'm gonna take like I said, I'm gonna take a drone and just fly
No,
over it. yeah.
I've told you the strategy, Ed. You throw the damn Garmin down the hill.
You throw the Garmin down the
Throw
hill.
the Garmin down the hill.
You throw
or
it.
if it's just a like nice steep punchy up,
Just chuck
you
it.
throw it up the hill.
Yeah, you beat that.
Yep.
Try to beat the up now, suckers.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
So I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out there at some point. I think tomorrow, and I'm gonna mark off my section. And I'm gonna do it again. And I think I know where I want to mark it off already. But
You know the best part about that is,
should we take names? Should we crowdsource names? What?
well, yeah. First of all, there's going to be another segment with a different name on there. So now it's going to be known as 15 different names
Yeah.
instead of just 10.
I'm adding to the chaos. It's best that way.
But then also, it's going to be your created segment, and you're not even going to hold the KOA.
I'm gonna get the cam's gonna get smashed out from under me. You know, I'm okay with that. Okay, as long as is it something that I lost at fair and square. Get good at climbing, I guess they said, right?
Oh, you beat my time on this segment.
Which one?
King DH, apparently. I still don't know which one this is.
Where are you?
We'll
All
figure it out at some point.
right, so they split. Even that one starts a little too early for my taste. See, why is it past the split? It should be here, so you hit the gate going still. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, because
Each trail should start-
If you start it earlier, someone's going to stop at the intersection, right? And then not know they're on the segment. That's right.
So
a
wait, so
segment.
you
a
have to
segment
stop
should
there?
Follow. You don't have to,
Oh,
but if someone ends up, say, sitting there deciding which way to go, they should still be in the running for that segment, right? A segment should follow natural trail intersections.
if they're in the middle of the trail, they should get smashed first of all from behind by somebody that's not paying attention, probably. No, I think you should get a running start at the gate.
No. A segment should follow natural trail features. Like, for instance, this is something that comes up on road segments, and I'm going to go back to the Cape again, the rail trail, right? If you make a segment, there are segments down there that cross roads on the rail trail.
Okay.
Super dangerous.
Okay.
Super dangerous
I'll give you
because
that.
people just like book through the crosswalks.
Cars don't care. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, it should follow like intersection to intersection.
All right. Well,
Otherwise, you have people booking across roads, booking through intersections,
that being said,
and like
if your point is it should be intersection, then shouldn't it still start there at the split, both of them?
it should start somewhere near it. I think that's close enough.
It needs to be
That's close
closer.
enough.
It needs to be closer.
How much time are you gonna save?
An inordinate amount of time I'm going to focus on this to save nothing. 1 second maybe.
Yeah, you wouldn't be gaining anything by moving that segment back as far as time goes. Because even if you're...
I'm not trying to gain. I want a true of that straight section.
But so even if you're going... Even if you're
right.
booking straight through that gate, you're still maintaining that momentum, right?
Screw your
so
point.
So it's not going to matter at the end.
I know. Whatever. Shut up. You're right. All right, so we'll leave that one alone. But the other one still. I'm doing.
And just segments in general.
Yeah.
And that the intersection thing is really... That's something that I have always...
Still doing it.
Like, appreciated, but also taken issue with.
What?
The whole intersection thing, especially on the road.
Where things meet like that?
Yes.
I guess you have a... Man, I still can't get into road biking. It still terrifies me. You know? Like, I've seen people drive...
It's because you can't get the segments.
To other
That's why you're scared.
There's no segment. Yeah, exactly. Putting my rockets in my road bike.
But if you have a segment that, like I'm sure that there's a segment in Massasoit that, like, goes across a road, and people just book across the road.
I would just jump the whole road.
That's like,
just gap it.
You're not gapping that road.
I don't know. Some of those lips on one side of them, in the beginning part, you hit that some speed.
You're not gapping that road.
Probably not.
Show me a video.
No.
I don't believe it.
And he needs a video evidence. It's fake video.
But that's, yeah.
So that's what you take issue with.
Yes. It should follow, a segment should follow, like, when you're out there, there are natural segments, right? That's what it should follow.
And you're more of a natural trail feature use kind of thing, too.
Like, you kind of, like, say you ride up a climb. You kind of get a feel, like, you know where that climb ends. That should be the segment.
I gotcha.
Right?
You know where the trail splits. That should be the start.
Exactly.
That should be the start. Also, there's some nice stuff out there, like piles of logs that have been made into jumps.
Yes.
Like large jumps.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome. Yeah, that's a nice little section over that little back area kind of ish.
Yeah, the little
If you can
enduro loop.
wade your way 9 miles deep
The
out
Massasoit
there.
enduro loop.
Get out there.
Yeah, that's how a segment should be defined, I think, is those natural, like, when you're riding, you should kind of know where that segment starts and ends. It should be like someone that doesn't have Strava open on their phone or whatever at that time should be able to tell when the segment ends.
See, that was my thing, because I was sitting there looking, and I had my phone open, and it's like counting as the segment time.
You shouldn't have to search for the segment end by, like,
it should naturally
doing
be
it and then, like,
split.
looking at where you are.
Yeah.
Yes. It should
Get out there
feel
with
more
flags.
natural
We
than
need
that.
flags. Literally, I'm going to go out and start
Flags.
flagging trails. Also, what is with my wattage, by the way, how it's off compared to everybody else? Look at that. Somebody put in 3 watts. Yeah, look at that power. Heck yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, that's raw power right there.
That's on a downhill.
I know. So my watch is messed up too, I think.
It's probably because it's taking your...
Speed versus cadence or something like that.
well, that's a watch, right? So it's
Yeah.
taking your heart rate. So it's got a better idea.
Oh, Garmin.
Whereas the other ones are just kind of guessing based off of speed and
He's actually scared.
elevation.
It's not power. It's fear.
It's fear.
It's fear tears. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's what's making the difference with your power numbers, I think, is it's trying to take into account your heart rate here.
I want a power meter on my mountain bike, I think.
It says you averaged 41 watts.
I don't know why yours is different than mine, too. Also, I'm getting different times for the same sections looking at mobile in this, too. I hate this app. We've already wasted enough time in this damn app. I'm just going to throw it away and not do it anymore. I'm going back to a pen and paper, and somebody's
No,
going to
the
have a
maps are
stopwatch.
cool. I like the maps.
Damn it.
Segments, not so much. Segments are a little tricky to work
I
with.
wonder how much the heat maps are updated if it's showing like us doing an inordinate amount of heat down the back section now. If it's like glowing hotter, you know? You saw that, right? I'm still going out there. I'm still going to mark my own.
So what are our findings in this bike court?
I'm guilty because we're judges.
But
so we
who's
can do
guilty?
whatever. People. And Strava. You know who you are. You don't have to, shame. Shame. Don't make me say your
Whoever
names.
made these segments is guilty.
Yeah.
Whoever invented Strava is guilty.
You know who you are if you're listening.
Whoever, I don't know, who else
Whoever
is
designed the
guilty?
Strava mobile app and
Let's-
then made it so I have to swipe the entire thing to the right.
Whoever-
and see my own stuff. You.
Whoever threw their phone down the hill to get a better time.
Cheaters.
That's another thing with Strava segments.
Ooh.
Is phones, in general, phones will record a faster time than a Garmin.
Because the
than a
GPS is taking certain point. It's
Yes.
slower
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my phone recording and the watch recording next time and see what happens.
And in a lot of cases,
Maybe I'll fly.
a segment will get recognized. Like
Automatically.
in some cases, if you're on like a road next to the trail,
Really?
sometimes that segment will get recognized. So say you're booking 20 miles an hour down a road, and there's like a 10 mile an hour mountain bike segment right next to it. You might get the KOM for that segment.
Because you're flying down a gravel road. That's actually kind of a
Could be.
sweet idea.
Could
We
be.
should find those and mess with people. Specifically find like loophole Strava segments.
There are plenty out there.
Like, oh, in the winter, this is ice. It's just sheet
Or-
ice, so you could just slide down the entire thing on your bike with the on your back, you know?
I'm going to go back to Nickerson State Park again, and I think I've told you this story before. But there's
Oh, I do. Yeah, all right.
there is an athlete down there.
An athlete. I like
An
that.
athlete. He is an athlete. That
Multi-sports.
in the winter, this as so the tale goes, he took his fat bike and rode across one of the ponds and made it a segment. So he permanently has the KOM because no one has been either brave enough or forward thinking enough to ride across that pond.
Like, put your phone on a RC boat and just rip across at max speed and fly back. Be like, I win.
Yeah. Or kayak in the summer.
Or do it once every 4 years
Kayak-
when it freezes
kayak
over.
across in the summer. To
You
take
could-
that segment in the summer.
Could you beat a
would be
kayak
so cool
with a fat bike
I don't know.
in the winter? I think you get way more speed in a fat bike, right?
I don't know.
You'd be moving in a kayak.
I think it depends upon the pond. If you have enough
some
room
wind at your
in the
back.
pond to get that kayak up to speed, I think the kayak could win.
My arms would fall off.
Yes.
Yes.
You need the race kayak. You can't use one of those big.
I have a crappy like sit on top that's like a dock for drunks.
Welcome to
fishermen.
Lift Talk.
Yeah, welcome to Lift Talk.
Kayaks
so-
go on lifts as well.
Out I lift onto my car. I lifted onto my car. Is that who else is on? No one else is on bike court today. That's it.
I think that's it for bike court.
I'm gonna
The
get out
findings
there.
are
Just guilty
totally
as hell.
guilty.
Guilty as hell.
pretty much everyone is guilty.
Yeah, across the board, all of you.
Everyone's going to jail.
You should be ashamed.
Every one of you did.
Yeah,
Everyone's going to jail.
yeah. Especially
do
the guy
it.
that gave up that information.
Especially if you create another segment, you're going to jail.
Well,
you're going to goddamn jail.
Well, you'll know because it'll be a dumb name. I can't wait.
Just call it. Just start calling them like by your name, like Ed's
Ed one.
downhill segment.
Head section, get out. Young kid, no cool kids only.
Ed has the KOM.
And just hey, you know what? I'm gonna put it out there as a challenge. Come on, come one, come all. You know, hear you, bring it down.
I would say where
Throw
this
it
is,
out.
but I'm still not 100% sure which trail we're
people,
talking about.
the people that can find it, that want to, will find it.
They will.
Let's put it that way.
Massasoit.
We're not going to point it out, but if you're looking,
it's
you know.
somewhere in Massasoit.
Yeah.
Find the Ed Trail.
We're gonna mark it. You'll see the name pop up. It'll be dumb, and let's go. Bring it on. All comers. Please don't die though. Please don't get hurt. I'm gonna try not to. I mean, it's not that serious. Come on. I would feel bad. Oh man.
All right.
Should we get into this section?
We've doomed someone to bike jail.
Bike jail.
That makes me happy.
What is how long? Those sentences. Are we going to go ridiculous like 30 years? Bike jail.
Lifetime sentences. Ugh. So now,
Ooh, I wanna
I think
do-
we had a few
let's do
more
the
little
donut.
news things.
Bring
the
up this
donut bike,
please.
The donut bike. The donut bike. So this is. I don't know what
love
to
it.
think of this.
I love it. Obviously.
This is
Look
this
how
is Pink Bike.
Look how sick it looks.
Their little their own little thing that they decided to do. Let me see.
I just really like that it
can-
has
can
3
we
water
show-
bottles. Oh yeah, let me get
Well,
that.
so that's a
It's the render.
that's a previous iteration. Yeah, show them this because it's you can tell just looking at it. So that's their like
You can tell
initial
it's sick. Look at that
like
thing.
draw out. They want to do like carbon with like funky pulley wheels and like all sorts of stuff.
That's an idler, my
If
friend.
you scroll down,
If I scroll down.
keep going. Eventually, you get to the one.
Oh, that
like
bike is sick. Look at that thing.
That's not it.
Ooh, I want that, dude.
That's
I
not
want
the
to
bike.
rip down that on the hill in that thing.
Not that one. Next one. Yeah, so that's their final design. They ended up doing an aluminum with like stupid head angle and seat tube angle.
It's so sick looking.
So
though.
dumb.
Look at the shock. Look at
And
the shock
that's-
angle too.
If you scroll down, they
Reflection
actually
point.
made it. You keep going. There it is.
Ooh, it's pretty.
In all its ridiculous glory. No bottle cage mounts.
There was supposed to be 3.
There were supposed
I
to be
heard there
3,
were
and they ended up
3.
with 0.
I came for the baller cage amounts, and I left disappointed.
They have a picture of it built up as well, and it looks ridiculous.
Look at that thing, huh?
So this for them was
I
like
went
a little
full screen.
like proof of concept, I guess, for like if we take basically these trends in the bike industry of like slacker, steeper.
It looks like a
longer-
joust. Like look at the fork. Like it's gonna murder rocks. You know, that thing would be fun. Like a sled downhill, though, right?
So I don't think they've like posted any like review of it. Like they haven't like posted how well it rides yet. But I really like.
Does that look like a 200 mil
I like it for its ridiculousness.
single crown for like a not a trip? Like that looks too long. Like it's gonna fold.
Yeah, what's the travel on this?
That's
What's the
ridiculous.
travel on
Do they
this?
actually list
Where
it?
is it? Where is it? Front travel 180, rear travel 160.
Damn.
Not bad.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Yeah, head tube angle. You ready for this? 57 degrees.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Seat tube angle is 83.
I mean, it's not. It's definitely not going up. I'm not pedaling it up. Pass. Jeez.
Yeah. I love that they're being.
I love how they put
Wacky.
like a 12 speed on it. Like you're actually going to do anything with it.
Yeah.
Like just come on. Wait, that's a single speed. Maybe
Yeah.
you put 3
Yeah.
gears on that thing. Maybe you're going to be going down the entire time.
Yeah, I am pretty excited to see them ride this.
Oh wait, they're going to do a
I love
video of them
little,
riding
like-
it.
I think so.
Oh my god, this is going
Yeah.
to be. I would love to take this thing for. a
Someone
ride.
might die.
I mean, it won't be me. That's funny. Oh, I can see the chat now too. This is great. Oh, this is a much
what
better
are, what
setup.
are people saying down there?
Oh, it's just a comment about a certain bike manufacturer I was laughing at. That's all. I
Uh-oh.
don't know if I should say it out there, but it's pretty funny. Dang. Yeah, this thing is sweet. I love how when it looks like somebody like our first bike that we drew.
Yes.
And then went to China and built. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Man, they get to do some cool stuff with that over there. Pink bike dudes.
I'm so glad that they're doing nonsense like this.
Oh my god, I wish I could do. We should 3D print like a small one, our own bike. We'll 3D print it, we'll make it tiny,
And we'll ride it.
And then we'll go to China and see if we can get somebody to have a cheap frame that made up and have our own actual bike. Oh man, this is way cooler. Just make it look like this. We're almost dressing like this too, I guess. At one point, like long socks, pants. I guess I can wear a top hat, right?
I don't think any of that attire is UCI legal.
Does it have to be a certain millimeter thick?
Yeah.
or thin. That's funny.
So anyway,
Anyway,
there's that, and then one other little piece of news
oh, tiny piece.
that I thought was interesting.
Uh-oh.
Fabio Widmer. You know Fabio?
Oh no! What happened?
Do you know of Fabio?
What
Do you
company?
know of him?
No, he was from.
He was riding Specialized. He's
Oh.
done all those, like, he did that ski slope video. That's awesome.
What happened? Maybe he hurt
Fabulous
himself.
Escape. No, he's on Canyon now.
He switched teams.
Yes.
Oh.
He's done with Specialized. He was on Specialized for a while. Now he's
Isn't
on
it-
Canyon.
Somebody else I heard was on Specialized for a long time recently, and they also are jump ship. Like it sounds like it's is that happen like prevalent in the industry where people change often, or is it usually a couple of years before something like that happens?
It depends. I think in the road and the XC world, people end up changing a lot more frequently.
Yeah.
For like downhill type stuff, people seem to change a lot less frequently.
I mean, somebody is going to be actually getting publicity through their sports like that. You don't want to change it up, I guess.
Yeah. But anyway,
This is sick. Yes. All right. I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted because I can actually see this now, and it actually works.
I think Ed gets the spotlight now for a little bit.
I kind of wanted a canyon, but then I saw. Did you see that?
Oh.
Speaking of canyon, we're going to go on a slight tangent here. Did you see that review video with that AL6 and the Rip versus the Ripmo AF?
I heard of it. Yes.
The bike looked like the Geo looked amazing. I could not get my mind off those welds and the gusset near the seat tube.
Yeah.
So
that was one of the things we were
vomit-inducing.
looking at.
It was terrible.
This is what was this one called?
That was the
I don't know any of their
AL60.
plus their cyber attacks.
I felt bad for them with that. I've been there, so that wasn't like
let's-
making fun of
Let
them.
me
That was
find
just
out
like,
because I don't
commiserate,
remember any
you know?
of their model names. Mountain.
Oh, somebody Somebody mentioned that Florian Nikolai changed from Canyon to Trek. So that's
Yes.
So
yeah,
that's,
there's
okay.
a lot of
right.
a lot of mix-ups going on. I think 2020 happens to be the year that a lot of their contracts expire too. So it has a lot to do with that.
That's round number.
Because exactly, yeah.
I'm a contractor accounting.
People were in like
HR people are like
contract for 2020, etc.
I put these out for 10 years and I'm screwed. Everybody gets renewed at once. I'm gonna do so much work.
Yeah, what was this aluminum one? Was it this?
I was telling you, I think it was the AL60. Neuron? No.
No, the Neuron is like
Strive?
the trail one.
No, that's Strive AL. Come on, think.
There's a Spectral.
Spectral.
Was it
That
the
has to be it.
Spectral?
Yes. Somebody else correct me. We need to.
Yeah, I was looking at this. That's
Somebody
the
pull
one.
that up. Somebody pull that
There
up.
is a Neuron would be the one. That's my kind of travel.
That's down country-ish.
It's 130
You know how long it took me to figure out it was a mix of cross country and downhill became down country?
down country.
I thought it was just an Australian thing.
No,
Like down country.
down under,
Yeah, that's how stupid I
the
am.
land down under.
Couldn't put that together. You know, it literally took months till like the other day. So
Yeah, the
Spectral. Somebody just corrected us.
yes,
The Spectral
yeah, the Spectral
AL6L.
AL6. It's 160 mil.
Yes.
Um,
It looks wicked fun. It looks like a sick bike.
it's a
though.
nice looking bike,
Yeah.
but yeah, the welds were one thing that you were saying. The
Oh
other
my
thing
God.
that I was looking at when I was comparing the two is the Ripmo appears to have better suspension.
Yes.
From what I can tell.
Yes.
Not that there's anything wrong with like the Fox stuff, like the DPX2, and it's got a 36 rhythm up front.
Yeah.
But I think the DVO stuff would end up being better in the long run.
You'd need like a performance elite, I think, to stack up.
Yes.
Like Fox 36 performance elite to stack up. I think it's definitely
For the
like
fork would need to be upgraded definitely.
Yeah. It's definitely a tier
and
below
I mean,
at least.
I think on that kind of bike, I might want the coil for like
it
longer
this way.
like traily downhill.
If you're gonna be using it for that kind of intended purpose,
exactly, yeah.
you still have a lockout, I
I
believe.
feel like the Air is probably more
All day trail
appropriate
riding.
for what you do with yours.
Honestly,
But for what I would do with it, I think I'd want the coil. Not that I'm getting.
so you would rather have the Air on a descent over a coil?
No.
Interesting.
No, I would rather.
Oh, you mean like XC-ish kind of around here?
Yes. So for the stuff around here, I would want Air because it's super tunable,
Yeah.
right?
That's a couple PSI out changes it instantly. You know,
Yeah.
you have a. I'll relate all back into that, but you have a good point. Or around here, that would have been a better option.
Well, because for
the
me,
couple times-
which is how it started with you as well, if I may remind you.
My
For
roots.
me, it would be a second bike. So I'd have the race bike,
Yeah.
and then I'd have this like not quite downhill like big trail bike for when I want to go up to big places.
That's fair.
And that's where that coil comes in, is because I'd only be using it for that.
For basically in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm not the typical. I'm slightly atypical in usage on this thing because it
Yeah.
blends over into multiple categories a little too much. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
You've been using it a lot more cross country than.
I sometimes
Which
I
in
think.
that case is where the Air might be a little better.
Yeah. I'm like, how much would it suck less? How much if saw my salsa still? Yeah. It's so fun being able to just
You're
jump.
still lifetime in bike jail for that one.
It's still fun being able to jump around in everything, though. I'm like, a tree
Yes.
is now jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can get hurt on everything. So
All right. I think that covers our news.
news is done.
We went a little off topic on a few things there.
We're in the library shots now.
Downcountry is a dumb name.
I think it's a
Hang
great
on
name
there.
now that I realized.
I love Downcountry.
Who said that? Who said that? That's great. I did not realize that was the name of that, by the way. I felt like such a freaking moron. We need a better holder for this thing.
Yeah.
We just literally somebody just comes here and holds this.
Where's our unpaid intern?
Yeah. Does that exist
Set this. Oh, you need to leave this.
like leave it like that.
There you go.
But it needs to be back
There you
further
go.
'cause it's going to get like.
Oh.
You know,
Oh God.
Hold on, we're gonna get up for a
Oh,
second.
God.
Cut this.
No, that should be fine. That'll be fine. Yeah, sit back down.
nice.
Sit back down. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Non-technical
I think.
difficulties. All right, but you can still
Yes.
read chat, right?
Part of your head is in it.
Yeah, you can still read the chat, right? You can tilt that if you want.
How
I love how I got an arm, but I'm still using,
You're
still holding the
it.
mic.
Yeah. There you are. You're mostly in it now.
Mostly in it. Yeah, down country sounds Australian. I'm sticking with that.
All right.
Dumb.
All these
Hilarious.
All
at the
these
same
people
time.
are asking about if this is actually like a recorded episode that's going somewhere. Yes, as far as I know, we will be recording this. We are recording this. There's Ed.
And we're gonna put it on.
Hopefully, you can see most of them
on some sort of
They
media.
will be up on things.
Oh God, that means that people will have to hold us to what we say.
Shit.
It exists forever now in
Yeah,
the
now
media.
they know when we're recording, so they know how long it might take us to edit.
Whoops. Although I am getting quicker at that.
Yeah, the last one's
Right.
pretty damn
We'll get
quick.
this one out pretty quick too. I think.
If you want visual aids with your episodes,
We'll have closed captions.
we have been doing closed caption. We have been doing like YouTube uploads and throwing in like a little like.
We'll take some pictures from
and
today
stuff.
too. We'll put them up like screenshots of stuff we were looking at. How's that?
Yeah.
Get a matchup of that going too, and you can enjoy me drinking coffee.
That covers our little personal news. Now,
We're gonna get to a segment
Ed,
here.
Ed has been wanting to do this episode for the last like 2 or 3 episodes, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it obviously
He's
got
had
pushed to the
this
back
all-
burner for
he's had
better
this
for better
all
things.
ready.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Basically, it's a long-term review for the Ripmo AF. I mean, is it long-term? It's 3-4 months.
That's long-ish.
My usage, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Long.
That's pretty long.
Yeah.
Do you know how many miles you got on it?
And Strava. So I stopped putting. I didn't change my bike on Strava, and it's still adding miles to the salsa.
I saw that. Trader.
3 months, a couple bike park. Like it's got to be a couple hundred miles in there at least.
Yeah.
You know.
Probably, you should be getting close to.
I feel like that's a
1,000-ish.
I'm gonna position.
almost.
Everybody's got the reviews on YouTube where it's like, oh, I've rode this bike for 3 hours today on this trail.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's great the first time you're at it, and it's clean, and it's new, it's demos, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've had enough time where like I've put it through its paces, basically in multiple different areas too, out of its paces at some points, you know. So, yeah. So basically, this is, I guess, what I feel, my opinions and thoughts on the bike. I think that for the $3,000 price point, even if you take off some of the add-ons like I had, but they were cheap, it's basically almost an unbeatable bike if you're going to use the extra travel. If you're going to use
Yes.
the extra enduro-ness of the bike, absolutely worth it. If you're not going to, I think you need to really look long and hard about if you're going to enjoy the descents that much more, of getting something that's lighter or climbs better, or it's more for this climate. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Well, so we had. You went to the Ibis demo, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I was actually like
So we had
injured that day for my show, and I'm like, I'm still going.
we had a local Ibis demo at Massasoit actually,
which was awesome. Thanks, guys.
and you already had your Ripmo at that point, right? You had already.
I think I
gotten
literally
everything.
just got it like
Yeah.
that month, maybe
Like
the month before,
a week or two before,
something
yeah.
very close. Yeah.
And then, so they had all their they had their Ripleys and Ripmos and stuff, and they had their Mojos, but those are 650B, so we don't care about those.
Not anymore, I guess. 5 years ago, maybe. Actually, I had already crashed on it at that point because I remember being like slightly jacked up now. But I'm like, I'm still going to go ride these other bikes. And I wanted to ride the regular. They had the
They had
carbon
They had the
Ripmo
carbon ones, yeah.
and the Shimano. I believe it was the Shimano SLX build or the Shimano build of the Ripley.
XT 12-speed on some of them, and they were nice builds.
It was decent build kits, you know,
as a demo should be,
as a demo
to,
should be.
to make you like it.
So we actually did get to ride those, you know.
Yes, and it seemed like the overwhelming majority of people. I actually rode the carbon Ripmo around that day, I think.
Oh, that's when you took.
I tried that one out like towards the end of the day.
Yeah.
And the overwhelming response that we had was most people ended up wanting the Ripley
Really?
because it's that like more capable. It's a downcountry bike.
It climbed insanely well, and it descended. It made you feel enough in control in the sense that it would be
Yeah.
pretty. I don't know if I'd take it for bike park.
Seems like
I
that
don't know.
one is the more appropriate for around here kind of bike.
New England
mostly
tech.
because of its travel, and it's like a cross country bike but slack.
Yeah,
Again, that we're saying it over and over again. Down country,
a down country bike.
down country.
and
And
it-
if you take issue with down country,
But it really is a difference in geo too, because the salsa was similar and it had like almost like a mini enduro style, which I think is why I was able to kind of push it as much as I did.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
But I 100% agree that the Ripley would probably be the better choice for the pure New England bike.
Yes.
But if you're gonna have bike park days where you don't want to
Exactly.
rent,
Yeah.
that's where this comes
Yeah.
into play.
Nick is calling it thick country,
Thick country.
but he's missing a few C's. It
I was
should
gonna
be
say, is
thick.
it capitalized? Yeah, with 2 C's, right? Thick country boys. BOYES. That's funny. And yeah, I did get the coil upgrade, which was $100 difference. Added a little bit of weight, and I also, and this blows me away that no one talks about this because I have not seen anyone else with it yet. Is the Ibis carbon
Those
bars?
handlebars.
They're okay. So they're, I don't know if they're 170 or 180 when they come cut, but they have aluminum add-ons in the bar ends to increase length, and I believe it also helps with some of vibration damping as it provides
A little bit,
external
yeah.
weight on that. You know,
So
it was so cheap of an option. Was it? And nobody's really talking about that.
I'll tell you the reason why.
Uh-oh. They're hated.
Well, it's one of those things that's like, it's proprietary, right? So, for instance, if you don't like either of those widths that it comes with,
Yeah.
and then you can't trim it.
But I love 800 though.
Yes. So, if you fit into one of those two length
780 or
categories,
800, it's all
you're good.
in.
But if you don't like either of those widths, then you're kind of screwed.
I gotcha. I mean, that's basically
What I
standard
like
these days
about
anyway.
it is that you can screw on one side and not the other side, and have one side be,
Why?
I don't know, why not?
So you can cut the
Mess
one
with
side
people.
against trees.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can
Exactly.
slip- it's your
If
inside
you know
line.
that you're taking, like, all your trails have lots of trees on the left side.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you just take the left side out. Right.
Couldn't you just get good with the swoop thing? That maneuver? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
What's that called?
But it's cooler if you just say, yeah, I
In and out.
shortened my left side handlebar because
I think it'd be cool because you could screw on like bar end tassels. You can go to the bike park and you have
we
streamers.
still haven't done that yet.
We're doing that. Yeah, so no one brings that up. I like it. I actually opted to get the Fox transfer dropper instead of the bike yoke.
Yes.
I don't have any regrets.
Yeah.
It's been fine. I had to adjust the
Was it the cable?
the cable
Yeah.
tension. I'm an idiot. Works great now. It did come with DHF2's front and rear, which they respected the ass guys.
The ass guy.
So I didn't get to use those, which I'm kind of bummed about, but I'll probably jack these up somehow because I have, as soon as summer comes, I can send the beat tires.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Maybe we go to those. But I heard they're heavier too, and they roll a little bit slower than the other ones. So I'm kind of maybe grateful around here. A little bit more would be a
You've
little
heard the
crappier.
ass guys are
A little tackier, a little bit
which is weird
slower rolling.
because I thought like the DHF is supposed to be like the
grippy
downhill tire.
front.
That's why it's called the downhill front.
I've seen other bikes with it spec'd on the rear too. It's kind of odd.
Yeah.
That's what everyone
But
says.
it's
the
supposed to
rear.
be their like. I've always thought of it as like their grippiest, biggest, like
because it's F.
beefiest.
It's the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the ass guy comes along and throws that all out the window.
The ass guy. He's terrible.
What's going on?
He's an a-hole.
That ass guy.
Yeah. So I'm looking. I don't know anybody
I'm
with
not-
ass
never mind.
guys. Yeah. Don't even go there.
Never mind.
Gonna YouTube not explicit that. The drivetrain. I have no issues with it, and I bashed it
And that's an
to heck.
NX Eagle.
It's an NX Eagle
You got
build,
that 12 speed.
but I don't have the full 500% GX
No,
range.
you have like 480. Ooh.
And if I do want to go to that, don't I have to use like a Shimano XT driver hub?
Yeah,
or
you'd
something
have
like
to
that?
beef up. Yeah, you'd have to do a different.
That makes 0 sense almost.
Why?
Why does that? Why should that even be? You should be able to slot in without the extra. Ugh. Again,
Okay. I wish I had like free hubs here because
I
I
wish
have
we
this.
did too,
I have
because
this
he
chat
could-
all the time.
he could learn me some
I have this chat
something
all the
now.
time. So our traditional Shimano free hub body is like you slide on cogs.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And it was X width. Right.
Okay.
So it's some diameter to it, and then so you put all the cogs on the lock ring at the top.
Yeah.
Because it's X width is too wide. Like that diameter is too wide to fit a 10-tooth or a 9-tooth cog onto with the top.
Oh.
Ah.
So now you need
So
a different.
SRAM came along and said, we can fit a 10-tooth on if we
change
totally
the
revise the
diameter.
entire free hub body. And they came up with the XD free hub body, which is basically it's kind of like the old multiple freewheel free hub styles.
Okay.
Remember those old ones that weren't? They were an individual piece that threaded on.
Yeah.
It's similar to that because they took the whole cassette, kind of turned it into essentially one piece, and then it screws onto the free hub body so that now you have a lot more room to work with.
The space for extra gears.
On that, for that small cog, to add a 10 or even, I think, E13 and 1UP are doing 9-tooth ones. Now, a little
E13.
sidetracked, the problem with a 9-tooth is that the smaller the cog gets, the faster it's going to wear out because you're putting X amount of power on
torque
fewer
is
teeth.
increased over the
fewer
amount of
teeth,
teeth.
so they're going
Yeah.
to wear a lot quicker. And the likelihood for them popping over is going to be a lot higher the smaller tooth count.
That makes sense.
But then Shimano came along, and because they don't like licensing things from other companies, because that would admit,
Shimano,
that would
Bike
admit that
Court.
someone did something right.
Yeah, better than them, right? Can't have that.
They came along and did essentially a revised version of the original Shimano freehub body, where they're calling it microspline.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Microspline is the Shimano one, and it's basically a shorter version of the old freehub body with the last few cogs kind of fit into each other.
Almost like an integrated stack at the end.
Yes. So that way they can... It's still like kind of the individual pieces that slide onto that freehub body.
Yeah.
But then at the very end, they all kind of like slot into each other, those last few cogs. That means that they can keep it... Because the biggest problem with the SRAM XD driver stuff, because it was all like... It was pretty complicated, all these like one-piece things.
Yeah.
Is that they were expensive. They were super expensive because a lot of them were like machined out of one
Individually
piece,
instead.
bolted onto. They've got like the threads in the middle. Those cassettes are stupid expensive compared to a normal, say your NX 12-speed cassette is pretty damn cheap compared to a GX 12-speed cassette.
When it comes to manufacturing, and then you can offer it so much cheaper and put it in
Yes.
such a wider variety
Yes.
of bikes and get their tech out.
You lose that 10-tooth, but you still have the same number of gears, and you still have that big 50-tooth at the back. So in the end of the day, in most cases, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's actually better because costs are kept down even lower.
Yes.
So in a roundabout
But
way.
there's your little free hub body.
Wow, you should
adventure
record
for the
that
day.
and put it on YouTube for anybody that's actually wondering about that, because I think I learned more there
I'm
than
still
I think
wondering about it.
Yeah, right. Thanks for actually schooling me on that one. I needed that.
But that's your little background for all that nonsense.
But yeah, the NX is fine, man. I had some issues where I think I jammed like a log size stick in it and it was kind of
Yes.
ghost shifting after a while,
Yeah.
but messing with it and cleaning it seems to be back on it now. It's fine.
Yeah, so that is, someone just actually brought up, we should go back to 1x9.
Who said that? Oh God. I don't
Same
want
person
it.
that keeps pooping on our downcountry.
I don't want to go back to
nomenclature.
I don't want to go back to 1x9. We're going up. I'm on
But
13, 14, 15.
The biggest
My
issue
baby
with
legs.
12 speed that I have seen is because all the cogs are so thin and the chain is so thin.
Yeah.
The tolerances are so tight that if you tweak that hanger or that derailleur just that little bit,
It's so sensitive to it.
it's very sensitive to that kind of stuff. So in a lot of cases, the you have to end up like something that you might on like a 1x9, you'd be able to like bend it back. In
And
a lot of
it's
cases,
still
you
in
just have
line.
to replace it with a 12 speed because those tolerances are so tight.
So that just means that we have to get rid of mechanical stuff and just go to wireless because it's way more accurate.
There you go. There you go.
You have 20-speed drivetrains, right?
Axis, if you punch an axis derailleur, it disengages and then re-engages.
Well, it's like a
and it
robot
makes this
arm.
cool noise. And it goes bzz, bzz,
I saw that.
and you get to punch it.
What is my purpose? You derail things. Oh God.
Anyway, continue with your... So drivetrain you're happy with.
It's been. I mean, I definitely noticed a difference between the Shimano drivetrain. I mean, I feel like
Because you ran the SLX 11 speed.
I'd have to be lying if I didn't. And every other Shimano drivetrain bike that I've actually ridden to, it's fairly obvious. It's butter. I can't really.
Shimano?
Yeah. But the GX is pretty good. I haven't ridden any of the higher end SRAM stuff though, so I don't. Yeah. See, like none of the XO or X. Was it XXO? XO1. XXXXXX. Oh, one.
Yes.
What the fuck? Okay. What is the order of that? It goes.
So they have... So SRAM
SRAM.
now has SX is their bottom level one. Don't even bother.
It's
with
on
that.
every like $2,000 full suspension bike, but SX is I heard it's bottom of the barrel.
Yes.
Okay.
Mostly their shifter is what's holding that group back.
Okay, basically
Then you
breathe on that
have-
and shifts. I'm guessing.
Then you have NX,
Yep.
Right.
And GX.
and then you have GX.
Yes.
Then you have the next two. It used to be X01.
X1. Oh,
So
used to be.
Used to be X1, then X01,
Okay.
then double X1.
Because that makes sense. That makes sense,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Nowadays,
Why would it stay that?
X1 does not exist. X1 was mostly just an OE spec, so it only came on like new bikes out of the factory
All right.
for the most part. X01 and XX1 now, with Axis being released, are kind of seen as the same performance level, but X01 is the enduro trail group, and XX1 is the lighter race group.
Yeah. All right. I mean, are they both carbon cranks?
Yes.
One's just lighter carbon. Less
it's
of it?
just a little less beefy.
Yeah.
is the idea.
That makes sense.
Honestly, they might be the same crank that just has a different paint on it.
I mean, the tolerances. I could see them being like it's the same. Just
Yeah. But
So
that's how it kind of breaks down now.
now that Axis is basically
Yes.
taking top dog.
What
Well,
I'll
not
say
top dog.
about the whole, because we could go on for hours
Sounds
about
like
the
you could.
SRAM versus Shimano
Sounds like you
debate.
have some
too.
anger built up. Let it out.
And this has changed a little bit with the new Shimano 12-speed, shifts pretty damn nice.
Really?
But I have always felt like the Shimano feels a little clunkier and a little slower
Really?
because of their
Compared to the
clutch. Because of their clutch system is a lot stiffer, versus the SRAM stuff has always felt a little snappier, like not quite as smooth as you were saying, but like you can rattle off shifts on the 12-speed SRAM.
Bang, bang,
so
bang, bang,
quick,
bang, bang, bang.
so quick.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what I really like about the SRAM stuff.
Although the stiffer clutch, I feel like on the Shimano, I had 2 change drops the entire time on that bike, and I've already had more than that on the SRAM stuff.
Yes.
Now.
So there's
That's probably the trade off.
give and take, yeah.
You know?
That kind of stuff.
And I wouldn't, unless I break something now, I don't think I'll change it. You know, unless I
Yeah.
want.
That's kind of the goal with any bike is like, I'm going to change this when I crash.
You want to spec it exactly, so you get to that point. Maybe not crash, but wear it out.
That's why I like the SRAM GX stuff, or from Shimano, their SLX stuff is super compelling now with the 12-speed.
Yeah.
Because if you crash, if you break that, it's not a big deal to just replace it with the same one. The price point is not super restrictive.
Yeah, it's not like a $1,000 drivetrain
Exactly,
upgrade set.
exactly.
Like, oh god.
Yes,
You know?
that was the problem with X01. We got to restart our.
Oh no, it went dead. Oh,
Hang
whatever.
Hang on.
I mean, we can keep recording too.
Hang on. Yeah, you're gonna have to. I don't know how to do this. Oh, you can download it. It's got a little download button up there.
Like 38
Right?
minutes to download.
Right? I think maybe. I don't know.
All right, we're gonna try. All right. There you go. Just hit.
We're live again. We're
Ooh,
checking
It's
connection.
warm. Right.
Welcome to the Ed Hand stream.
It's my hand. Oh.
What were we talking about?
Who knows? Set
Um,
up here better.
Oh yeah, just the price point thing. Like X01 is great, but if you bash that derailleur, you're in
for some issues.
You're in for some trouble.
You have some
Which
field
is why
service.
GX. I really love the GX stuff because it's a nice like price point, and same with the SLX stuff.
And you can abuse it.
The biggest problem with them is
I'm
that
not worrying.
cassette thing that we were just talking about.
Yes.
Because those cassettes get expensive. But you can always run, say, a GX rear derailleur and shifter with an NX cassette if you don't care about going up to that nicer,
I don't
slightly
think
lighter cassette.
saving
free hub,
38 grams,
et cetera. Yeah.
something.
So that's how all that breaks down.
So I can go up to the GX and just keep my NX cassette. That's actually kind of sweet.
Yeah.
I did not know that. All right.
Yeah.
Actually, I think somebody must have said something to me at one point about that.
Anyway, we've covered drivetrain.
Yes.
What else you got? What else you got with this Ripmo that we used to be talking about before I derailed the conversation?
No,
a
it's
few
fine.
times?
Let's see. Maybe actual.
What is this? Oh, it's facing the wrong way.
Oh, you have to hit the. Oh, it's looking at outside the window. So, yeah, on the bottom, there's like a flip.
Rotate.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we can see Ed again talking about his bike. There he is.
What do we have? What should we go? Brakes? Brakes were good. Brakes are good. The guide and the guide tees.
Those are the guide tees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, trail. I don't know what it should be. It's 4 pistons.
Yeah.
I just don't. The travel of the lever once it wears has been excessive, I feel, but it's not. I mean, it's they stop you down. They pull you down. I think that's a 200. You said 200 millimeter front, or
Yeah,
203.
that should be a 203 front
And 180 rear.
I think they spec a 180 rear on that one. Yeah.
It hauls it down. It is good, but the lever travel to get to that modulation point
Is a bit much.
is getting far, and it's
Yeah.
just I wish I could dial the lever travel in individually, because the bite point is great and you can modulate when you find that point,
Yes.
but it's just got too much. I think when we tried bleeding it, I don't think that. I think I'm going to switch to maybe the sintered pads somebody had
Yeah,
suggested.
those last longer
Yeah.
in general.
Probably beat them all a
Yeah.
little bit more. But they're strong. I like them.
Yeah.
You know.
I have found, so this is again with the SRAM stuff, and I think you made a note about this in our little document we got here. But once you hit like the RS to like the RSC or the RC or whatever they're calling them these
Yes.
days, those do not seem to have as much of that like lever travel issues from what I've seen. I've got a set of they're actually, I think they're like RS levers with like RSC calipers, and those feel phenomenal like all the time
So you have the RSCs.
as the calipers,
Oh, and not
not the lever. But for some reason that's been fine. So I do wonder, like, because I know most of their levers from like T to say R or
Interchange.
even RS are for the most part the same lever. I think the RS might change too. I'd
Yeah.
have to look because they do change that every once in a while. But the levers are pretty darn similar until you get to the like the pad contact adjust
Okay.
at the RSCs. But yeah, I would be curious to see if you were to take that like guide T lever and pair it with like an RSC caliper, how that would feel.
I'd be interested in that too. Actually, I wish I could put maybe at some point I'll upgrade and we can play with that. I think.
Yeah.
What did you
that's,
say?
That's
you
what
used?
I have set up on my. Actually, on my fat bike is I think I have they're either R or RS levers.
Yeah.
With an RSC caliper, and they feel so much better than that stock brake. That
Yeah.
was like just the R to the R or the RS to the RS.
I think that's like if anything happens to them or if I get sick of it, I think I'll probably look at that because that's something I really enjoy is be able to really dial in my braking points mentally, so I know exactly what's going to happen. I did ride a set of Code R's on a Canyon Drive, and there was a significant stark difference in that. And he had it for a little bit, so it wasn't like a brand new thing, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, for what I've been using it for, it's been totally fine. And the price point, I guess, again, you can't really complain too much at that point. It's not like Tektros; they're pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else did I have that I enjoyed? The dropper. Dropper, I wish I got a little bit longer so I could drop the seat a little bit more. And I've been touching my butt a little too much, and I could have used that extra, I think, 20 mil maybe.
Yep.
Again, like I said, not a deal breaker. I've adjusted, but I think
also,
at some point.
I think we thought about it, and then we're like, well, we can always like get along. Like you can always get a longer one, but if you end up with one that's too long,
You'll hate it.
yes,
Yeah. So
because your highest point is going to be a pain.
yeah, and it depends on the insertion length amount too. But this is enough. Where
Insertion length.
I don't think yeah, that's one of those words like moist, like phrases.
Insertion.
Ugh.
Insertion length. Tommy is suggesting the SRAM eVerb.
Oh, the eVerb.
The eVerb.
What's this? Is that
That's the Axis reverb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it goes bzz, bzz. It's very expensive.
Now, why would he recommend that?
I don't know, because he wants
He wants
to see you
everybody
spend money, I
wireless.
think.
Yeah. I wish I had him on here and I could ask questions about it right now.
We have him on here. He's right there. I see him.
Does he like it? What did he have before? Did he have anything comparable?
He doesn't have an eVerb. I think he just wants you to spend money.
Oh, so he wants me to review it for him.
Yes. Yes.
What does he have now in his?
He has a Bontrager Line Elite or Drop Line. I don't remember what
I
they
don't
call
have
it.
experience with Bontragers, I don't think.
They're all right.
Yeah,
They're not an Everb.
it's not. No,
I
you know,
would say, as far as droppers go, in my mind, the Transfer is still top tier.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the bike hook you can bleed, but if you don't make a crappy dropper, right, you need to bleed
That's
Whoa.
like the bleed port is cool, but yes, the fact that you need it is a little
kind of
blurry.
uncool. Kind of uncool.
Kind of uncool.
But man, the noise that thing makes when it snaps up,
Yeah,
it's downright scary the first couple
and
times.
it's
You know.
smooth. It's so smooth.
What else do I love about this thing? Anything? The wheels are. I've had no problem with the wheels. I've dinged them. I'm glad they're aluminum. The Ibis aluminums. They're 35 millimeters.
Yeah,
I'm glad I had aluminum wheels when I got it this summer because you could definitely. They took a beating.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of still looking at those maple wheels for the spring the next couple months. That's 35 millimeter carbon wheels and
Yeah.
some green hydro hubs. I'm gonna be a loud hub guy. No more silent hubs. So I'm not gonna do some spec ops on this bike. But I think that's only gonna be restricted for trail riding, and I think I'm gonna keep the AL ones for bike park duty.
yeah, that makes sense.
You know,
That makes sense.
I might even check out maybe a lighter duty tire for. I mean, if I'm gonna be using it for trail
For
sections around here,
for a trail set.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
be able to
Yeah.
keep the DHFs on the AL rims.
The nice thing about those 35s too is you could use them on your deadwood.
I guess it is deadwood. It's dead now. I hope that guy's actually using it.
You better be enjoying it.
I hope he's using it. It's a perfect area for that bike too. What do I have for complaints about this thing, huh? I mean, let's get into some gripes I have with this. I'll get to my gripes and then I'll finish out with the ride feel. So it kind of like brings it full circle. Let's see. One of the major ones I had here, then I'm not going to lie to everybody and pretend like it's not an issue, is this thing is heavier than bikes. Not only it's slightly heavier, not too much, but the feel is such a more centralized weight.
Yes.
Yes. The
So
carbon frames are.
One of the things with Ibis is they use their fancy, I think it's called the DW link.
Yes.
It's like
I forget who designed that.
I don't remember
He's
the
had a
guy's
couple
name.
of
It's
designs though.
D.
His
think his name is Dave.
White.
We
We have Google right here.
Yeah,
DW
yeah,
link,
yeah.
right?
Google. We can pretend we know what we mean.
Hold on, yeah, quickly.
We can pretend. The DW. Just
multiple-
tell me.
Dave Weagle.
Dave Weagle. Yeah, I was on the right track.
Deb would actually use that same
Anyway.
design. Did you know that?
Yes.
The split pivot is the same.
The
Dave
split
Weagle
pivot is a
did it.
is
It's
a Dave
different-
Weagle. So the Ibis, with that DW link, all that kind of linkage weight is pretty centralized, but
Yeah.
heavier than say some of the like the Horst links type stuff from Specialized or some of those other linkage systems are a lot lighter.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I mean, all companies are going to say that theirs is the best, but the DW link is supposed to be a much better ride feel. I will say
It's a pedaling platform,
from
too.
riding your bike around, the pedaling on it is phenomenal for it being like a coil,
yeah.
big aluminum,
shocking.
beefy bike.
Yeah.
Like, but even just like on pavement, like pedaling up a little pavement climb was like, what? This doesn't make any sense.
Even fully open.
Yeah.
That's not even using the
Yep.
the lockout.
And that is super cool. Like for how heavy it is, like wheeling it around and picking it up, like it doesn't ride heavy from what I've ridden it.
It's static weight. That's that.
Yeah.
I think that's we weighed it and it was 35 pounds 8 ounces without a
Yeah.
wall and like a enduro strap. But like that's an excellent point where you feel it when you're hefting it up in the back of a pickup, or you're statically sitting there, or you're trying to spin up from a stop, but you don't. As soon as you get on that thing, it just melts
Yeah.
off. You can't feel it anymore. It's ridiculous.
That is like that's the same thing that people always bring up with their carbon bikes. Is like, oh, it's heavy. And it's like, yeah, it's because it's a different suspension design. It's a different linkage that's supposed to be working better than some of those lighter linkages out there.
Yeah.
Whether or not it does, and there's some personal preference in there, but
I think so.
Just from riding the aluminum one, and it is a slightly revised linkage on these last few, like the new Ripmo, the new Ripley, and the Ripmo AF have a different linkage than
They changed the geo in the I guess the
They changed
the
it up a
linkage
little
points
bit.
or something
Yep.
like that. I
Yep.
guess.
And it's supposed to be a lot better, and it feels a lot better from what I've ridden.
From what you've compared it to the older stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't have the comparisons to the old stuff, but I will say that I was slightly worried about the climbing ability especially coming from the Deadwood, and I am shockingly surprised and okay with it.
Yeah.
But you will notice the weight.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a little slower coming out of turns as a result, too, I think. Heavier, everything's centralized.
Yeah. Well, it's so slack, too.
It doesn't hold speed as... It once it gets going, the weight kind of pulls it, but it doesn't kind of want to keep rolling as quickly as, say, a carbon setup bike.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It's not a deal breaker, though, I feel like my stamina and my cardio still wasn't where it needed to be, so I'm like I could rely on that to kind of pick up a little bit of a slack and a couple more pounds on the day or something like that. Like I dropped a pack and I have a hip pack now, so that weight difference alone is probably the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking for something that's light, again, definitely check out a Carbon Ripley or a Carbon Ripmo instead, because I think it's going to bring like another level of performance to that climbing. You know?
Yeah.
Be perfect for something around here. What else? Yeah,
we chatted about the maples.
Yes,
Looking at some of those
wheel
to
upgrades.
Get some fancy carbon wheels on that.
That's gonna
And
be,
I have
wait
to say,
I can't wait to see how that
I
feels on that thing.
love carbon wheels on an aluminum bike. Something about it. It's just perfect.
Well, I feel like the only real upgrades you can do to that to give it that's going to actually make a apparent feel difference is going to be rotational mass. So carbon cranks and carbon wheels and a hub. Those are going to be the only things that make a. I mean, you can
Plus, with the i9, you get like 50 bajillion points of engagement.
I can't wait for that, by the way, because I'm starting to get into
It's like
more
Velcro. Like, bzz.
like a
pretty cool.
trialsy kind of stopping yourself in the
Yeah,
middle of a trail, which kind of leads me back into, I guess, ride field, because it's a longer bike. The reach is even kind of getting long for like a large, you know. And I was worried about how this is going to feel in like switchbacky stuff and like turns and tight stuff, but initially it feels like a tank. It kind of just doesn't. Yeah, I kind of gonna feel like you're gonna fall, but I've gotten better at holding the bike and then kind of continuing from a
Letting
stop.
it, yeah.
And then once you kind of lean it, it's quicker than you think. You can kind of flick it as long as you have a little bit of rolling speed, like any kind of speed going into anything. It's not even an issue. The bike felt like I've ridden it before when I first I got on that thing. It was. I've never been on a bike where I've instantly felt comfortable. I don't really know what to attribute that to, other than Geo or maybe cockpit setup initially, because we're similar sizes, you know.
Yeah.
But holy crap, that was something that was shocking, because it took me a long time in the Deadwood to feel like I was safe pushing it and I was comfortable on the bike and that it wasn't outriding me, you know. Whereas this thing basically is like, get in, loser, we're gonna go ride. Like it can do way more than what I can, at least, you know. Maybe some people, but man, it's just confidence inspiring in literally every situation I put it through, you know. I can't believe it. It's not something people that have ridden it have been like, whoa, too. Like, it's something, I don't know how they did it, but you can't put a measurable on that almost. It's something that you can just feel when you get on a bike, you know. So yeah, if anybody's looking to get something they can slot into and just kind of rip.
Ripmo.
Oh, the AF. I cannot stress how good of a value this thing is.
The AF, I'm super glad that they came out with the AF too. I'll say, like, again, if I were getting a second bike, it would probably be the Ripmo AF. As like a trail, I'd get in the silver color, so I don't step on anyone's toes.
I do like that silver with the green
silver
accents,
is pretty
though.
cool too.
You know,
definitely not as like
Green
flashy
pedals.
as yours.
No, I like orange though.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I can get
You gotta
orange
stick with
pedals.
the orange.
You know,
you gotta stick with the orange.
Oh, another thing I wanted to mention was not related to the Ripmo, but I changed the size of the pedals I was using.
Yeah,
Way better.
yeah.
The wider one-ups, the composites.
Wider, like away from the bike.
Oh no, like I guess the platform is wider, so I guess it would be slightly more away from the bike. But I have been leaning. I have been noticing I've ticked.
You've been
I
hitting
tick
stuff
them every so
once in a
often
while?
in the corners of the pedals, and you can actually see it was worn down in those areas.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's like a slight negative, but I feel like the confidence has been way. I can find them
it's one
easier.
of the things, you got to find that fine line between.
Flats for life. I don't know if I can do clipless ever. I'm not sure. But I heard there's articles now. People are going back to flats are now back in the thing now.
Yeah, especially for like a lot of downhill enduro-y type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flat crew.
For XC, it's always going
Represent.
to be clipless.
Yeah, because you can cheat
Yeah.
up.
Yes.
Ugh, cheating.
Yes.
I'm going to use
Cheating.
my gross leg muscles and try
Maybe
to
you
do
could put clipless on your deadwood. Oh.
That's going to be happening a lot now, isn't
Yep.
it? Damn it.
Yep. I'm not going to let you forget.
Eli's going to join in now. He has a deadwood, huh?
Of course he is.
Damn it. His is a cooler color, I think, possibly, too.
You think?
I think I might
Than-
like that
than the
better.
black?
It's like a cool, like army. Like you found it buried in the desert and you unearthed it,
You unearthed it.
you know?
You got to ride with like a fedora and like a bullwhip.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Oh, my God. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to give it, we should give it Ed score. I'm going to highly recommend this thing. And
The
we're
Ed
going to give it an
score.
Ed score of, I'm not going to go too, it's not perfect. I was even debating why even go that high.
Yeah.
I would have been a little bit, I think I'm going to be a little bit more discerning, you know?
Well, what? All right. So let's talk about,
Should we give it
because
grades
for
to
gripes
individual things?
we talked about the brakes a little bit
Okay-ish breaks, yeah, performance.
and the weight.
And weight,
Right?
yes. I didn't feel any downsides to, somebody mentioned chassis flex, frame flex. Maybe I'm not as Jeff Cundeweed did, but he's basically spends more time on one wheel than I've ever
Yes.
spent on a bike. So I think usage style will definitely, but I've hit some big jumps on this thing. Like we were clearing Gronk, doubles on Gronk, and like we were sending him on Hollywood at Thunder Mountain, and I did not feel like
Yeah.
squirmy, you know?
Yeah.
So what? Brakes-ish, gripes, weight. That's really it.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know how good the ass guys are, so I can't really complain about that.
Yeah.
Pluses, climbing, pedaling performance is outstanding. Extremely confidence inspiring. Reliable so far. I mean, there was I asked them, but I haven't even got a response back. Should I even mention that? I don't know. I don't want them to hate us. I mean, it was, you know.
Yeah. I think
It's not. Is it? Yeah. We had an issue with my rear coil, just the coil spring itself, though, where it started to rust at a contact point. But DVO was super responsive and basically immediately shipped me a new coil to throw on
just
there
a different finish.
with a
essentially.
different finish.
Yeah.
And I did have some issues with the front. I'll take pictures of that too, and I'll send it to you. Where just the finish on the front top tubes of the crown forks are chipping for some reason.
Huh.
I don't really know why. If it's been like a rock, it doesn't seem like a rock hit or anything. It's kind of odd, but it's not really affecting
Yeah.
performance. And that thing
Yeah.
has been outstanding.
You like
I
the fork?
beaten on that thing. It's almost like
Because the fork is a bit of an odd build in that the fork is an air and the rear is a coil.
exactly that OT. That once you get that dialed in, though, it's almost like a set it and forget it. I
Yeah.
haven't touched that since almost like started playing with it.
I
It's that
do
good.
love the more I've looked at that the DVO rear shocks, the more I've liked them because we're gonna get a little technical for a second here.
Do it.
They ditched
Do
the IFP design. So like our traditional internal floating piston is like a little piston inside the shock that it's got oil on one side and air on the other.
Yeah.
And it just kind of floats.
Yeah.
Kind of back and forth between them. That's what's controlling your damping at the end of the day. But the DVOs kind of ditch that and replace it with a bladder that you can tune.
And you can actually pump that
you've
up
got,
and
like-
make air changes to that bladder.
Yeah, exactly. So you can kind of tune how essentially the quote unquote IFP is feeling.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool because IFPs have been around for a long time, and as far as maintenance goes, they're a pain.
Well, because you have two chambers that you can't have any fluid exchange between. You know.
Exactly, and it's super high pressure usually
Yeah.
between those two chambers, like sometimes 400 psi, which is crazy.
Yeah.
To be putting that kind of stress on like
Static.
a little rubber seal.
Imagine the pressure when it gets weight applied to it. It's like a couple
that's where
thousand
most
psi.
maintenance problems in rear suspension comes from is like
Seals.
oil and air exchange between those seals.
Gonna
and those
burp it out
O-rings.
from the negative
So
chamber or something
by
like that.
by ditching that and going just for the air bladder, you're kind of eliminating
Maintenance.
that side of it. Yeah, I think the air bladder ends up being. There were some negatives to it. They were saying that it's like a little heavier, I think.
Yeah.
And a few little things like that, like might not handle the heat as well.
That's interesting,
something
actually. I wonder if it would be like a
But
hot
from a
degree-
maintenance
hot
perspective,
days.
it's awesome.
from your point of
Yes.
view, it's easier. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have it spec that they recommended one night, like basically 1 psi per pound. It looks like.
Okay.
So I have it at about 185 because I'm basically between 185 and 188 basically any given
Yeah.
day. So I feel like that's
Yeah.
185 to 190.
It is funny too to be like, oh, here's my coil shock. Let me just put air in it.
I remember when we first
When we
got it, and you were
first saw
like,
it, I was like,
you don't
wait
put
a
air in
minute.
that. I was like, yeah, you do.
There's air in there.
There's a little hidden port. Gotcha. And I've definitely backed off the rebound, and it's definitely been performing a lot better
Yeah.
on everything. Shocking enough. Shocking.
Oh. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you know what? I'll feel like 8.5 out of 10 is probably accurate.
8.5 bicycle wheels out of
8.5 wheels out of 10.
out of
5 bikes, right? Two
out
per
of
bike. Yeah, what do we give it?
8.5
an Ed score.
handlebars out of 3 main triangles.
We should. Oh God. All right, so we should do like a Doug DeMuro score metric where it's like trunk space, bottle mount bosses, and useless things,
Useless
and
things.
really get a metric on it. But yeah, if you're around here and you're not going to bike parks and you don't ever plan on going to a bike park, I don't suggest starting now. They're super addictive. Just do yourself a favor. I think maybe and check out a Ripley too.
Ripley.
Really
Yeah.
think hard about that.
Or the salsa spearfish.
Yes, the dead fish.
The dead fish.
Which brings us to our counterpoint, basically, to this.
Yeah. I don't know if we actually have time for this today.
Should we? Should we make it its own section? I mean,
I
we
think
can
it
make
might
this-
have to be its own thing. We might have to do its
Yeah.
own thing for this one. Yeah.
It's enough material,
can-
do you think?
We'll chat about that. Stay tuned for some
Ooh,
salsa.
are we going to leave it
content.
on a to be continued?
To be continued.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do
for
that to
episode 6.5.
How long should we make people wait? 1 week? No.
Like a year.
Yeah. We'll put this in the back burner.
Like a year.
No, I want to continue this because I feel like it's a reasonable counter to this,
Yeah.
So let's do that for 7.
It's basically another bike court, but not.
In a roundabout way.
Yeah. I'm just going to be harping on Ed for selling his bike.
Pull out the world's tiniest violin. I'm going to play it for you. I miss that bike still. All right, cool. So we'll set that up.
Yeah.
Let's get some thoughts.
Chat
on-
about some carbon now that we've chatted about some aluminum.
Yeah, this is
Do that
interesting today.
Next time.
We'll see how quickly we
There's
can
an
get this out.
interesting little setup.
I might be able to get this out today. Oh,
It's a bit of a different episode for us because we kind of focused on a bike for the whole time.
yeah. I guess
instead
this
of,
is almost like a.
We've been chatting about like places, and we kind of split episodes up pretty effectively.
We did blow up
but,
a place pretty good today.
we did.
We have been biking too. We haven't talked about any of that recent stuff. But it's
Yes.
been normally stuff, normal
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I like this episode. We should do more. Hey, if anyone wants to send us a bike to review and rip apart, put through its paces.
Ooh.
Let us know. Hit us up.
Anyone out there? Hello.
At Lift Talk Podcast.
Hello. Where's the echo feature here?
I'm not. Oh man, we need to
Hello,
get that
hello.
now so I can do sound effects like that. Hey, thanks for everybody to watch live.
Yes.
and wasted
It was
their
cool
time
to
with us
kinda
today.
We're trying to like be able to chat with you guys a little bit more because that's cool to be able to do that.
You gotta figure out a
kinda
way to strap it to the
get
helmet
some of your input here.
Do an
And
Instagram live as we ride.
Instagram live while we're riding. Do
Yeah.
a lift talk on the fly.
Thanks for everybody who actually put in chat questions. Actually, it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's gonna be it's gonna be cool to kind of see this grow a little bit. And yeah, the immediate input stuff is really cool to be able to chat with Tommy about like an e-verb and this guy about how downcountry is a really cool term and everyone should use it.
And complain about Strava.
Yes.
All right. Whoa, that was loud. Yeah. So thanks for everybody who participated. So it was
Yep.
awesome. If you have any
Yeah.
more questions you want us to include anything later on,
You can
get us an
message
Instagram.
on that Instagram.
Lift Talk Podcast.
We are setting up like emails and stuff too, so we can
Get blasted.
yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And that's it. Cue outro.
And, yeah. Out.
Strike.
Demon.